everybody. Welcome back to another episode of 6'4" and More. Very special episode this morning. Jeff-tastic, Jeff-tacular, Jeff-licious even. But you all better not Jeff up our Nelson ratings. What do you think, Jeff Hornan?
Well, I agree. They better not F it up. Or Jeff it up.
You Jeff that up already?
Yeah, I did. Welcome back. It's been a great week around the Capitol here. The weather's been beautiful outside. And this week I decided I was going to go for a walk. And when I was out walking, I came across a sign in the yard that said dog for sale. So I thought, well, I'm going to go see what they've got. So I went up there. And the guy said, well, this just is not any certain dog. This is a talking dog. And I go, really? Well, I want to see that. And so he took me around the house and we saw the dog and I started talking to this dog. And this dog said, I've been in burning buildings. I've saved women. I've dragged them out of the burning buildings. I help blind people cross the street. I'm just a really good dog. You should buy me. And I looked at the guy that was selling the dog. I said, why are you selling this dog? And the guy said, because he lies all the time. So I will send it over to Dave now to introduce our guest.
That was the approved joke for today. There were some that were not approved.
A long way for that one.
It was. So welcome to the All Jeffed Up episode today. And what we're doing today, a little different than our normal, is we have 5 items behind us, and Donnie and I selected who was responsible for the item today. So we're going to go around and see what the items are. But first of all, I want to say one of the things doing research, if you've watched our show, we do research on all you guys. One of the really important things for you guys is you have one thing in common. Do you guys know what that is? Besides that, you all own your own businesses.
Oh.
Very interesting that we have a group of men here that are entrepreneurs, and I think it's a great thing that you guys all do that. And so hopefully when we're talking about what you do, you guys can kind of kick in there and give a plug for your businesses.
Thanks.
Why don't we go around and introduce our Jeff guest?
Hi, I'm Clint. I'm Jeff Coleman, District 32.
I'm Jeff Myers from Warren County.
Yeah, Jeff Vernetti, 123, Lake of the Ozarks.
Of course, I'm Jeff from District 1.
Jeff Knight from Macleod County.
And we actually had another Jeff in as a representative, but I think his invitation got lost. His name was Jeff Hill. I don't know what happened, but
There's no Jeffs with a G, though. That's
No G-offs,
yeah.
We didn't have to run out the
Yeah.
studio for another Jeff.
yeah, he
Our
was a Democrat,
studio's
so I'm sure
crowded.
that's the reason it got lost.
Yeah.
Very good. So we got our list up here. I'll read them off, and then we'll kind of go through and talk about each one of them. The first one was, I was on a list of boys that my future wife was not allowed to date. I'm undefeated as a professional wrestler. I high jumped in high school and cleared 6'6". I took second place in a beauty contest, and I have visited more countries than states. So on the first one, the 2 representatives have guessed Farnan and Knight. So will the real person explain what happened there?
Oh, I believe that's
Totally taken Myers.
Yeah, totally. Right. I took my wife out on our first date when she was 16. She had to wait until she was 16 before she could date, so I took her out on our first date. But I was apparently too wild for her parents, but yeah, I've stuck around now for 35, 6 some odd years.
You've stuck around. Have they come around yet?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they love me now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Took him 30 years.
It took a while.
Yeah.
I'm an acquired taste.
Yeah.
You surely got a Jeff joke for that.
There's a lot.
Jeff-licious or
Let's just say, it was a Jeff and Hard Road for a while. They thought I was a Jeff up. I mean, we could just go on and on.
Okay, very good. The next one, which I think both of you guys Donnie got one right, or maybe it's Dave. I don't know. Somebody got it right. No, maybe not.
That's
Anyway,
what you got.
no, we're not gonna have. I'm undefeated as a professional wrestler.
I'm out.
No, that's me. So,
Really?
yeah. Again, it's a long story, but for the podcast's sake, I was in sports radio for 10 plus years, and while that time I did a lot of freelance boxing announcing and MMA, and I also did ring announcing for professional wrestling. And then they worked me into a storyline one time, and I had 2 professional wrestling matches. Went over in both and made an extra $15 on top of my pay, so I actually did get paid instead of the regular $50 a night or whatever they'd give me, an extra 65 whole dollars. So, yeah, last match I won. I got hit with a steel chair and accidentally in the side of the head, got busted open, and my little daughter at the time saw it and freaked out, and that ended my career. But undefeated as a professional wrestler.
Accidentally got hit?
Yeah,
I thought
it was
professional wrestling was
That
real.
part wasn't scripted.
Oh.
Yeah.
You were a sportscaster in St. Louis area?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah,
right?
for 10 years.
Did you work for a national?
No, it's just a all sports station in St. Louis. Been there forever. 590 The Fan.
Yep.
So covered the Rams move and Cardinals and Blues, and traveled with the Rams 3 years and worked for Super Bowls and every national championship game and everything that we've had. So got to interview a lot of sports celebrities and Kurt Warner and all the Cardinals at the time. But it was a great career. But radio has completely changed. There was no podcasting. Satellite radio was just starting. So I got out at the right time, I think.
Awesome.
Very good. Well, work one up for Donnie.
Yes.
Okay, I high jumped in high school and cleared 6 feet 6 inches.
I guess that would be me.
All right.
Yeah. Loved sports and could jump really good, and so that's what they had me do, was high jump.
Where'd you go to school?
Oak Grove. Oak Grove, 3A school, and played every sport there, and then went on and played football at Graceland.
In Iowa, oh my.
Yeah,
Very good.
It wasn't the mansion. So where'd you place in state? I didn't.
Wow.
6'6" and 3A. Yeah, yep. There was a guy in my conference that jumped 7 foot. That's the record, still today.
Wow. That's awesome.
I was there when he did it. It was in the conference meet, so
Not bad to be beat by a state champ. So that's
yeah.
There was someone else famous that went to Lamoni or Graceland.
Yeah,
You want to talk about that? Were you there at the same time?
No.
I didn't know.
I'm not that old.
I didn't know how old. It was Bruce Jenner, who is now somebody else. But
Yeah. Yeah, we don't talk about
I
that
think
much.
still, deep down he's still Bruce.
Yeah.
deep down, yeah.
Deep down, at his core, I think he's still Bruce.
Very good. I took second place in a beauty contest. I guess that's just you
We're
and me
narrowing it
left.
down, yeah.
I don't know.
Surprise.
There was a gentleman in Laclede County, and he was terminal cancer, and we had a benefit for his family, and I did an auction, and then after the auction was over, they actually did have a beauty contest where I did partake in. I called the tallest lady I knew in Laclede County and got my 13s in a size 11 heel. I probably technically, with my Daisy Dukes and red plaid shirt, probably should have got first, but I determined my balloons weren't big enough. We laugh about it now, but you think about that, and you do it now, you offend whatever letter or whatever group of people you're offending, and we raised a ton of money for this guy. There was nothing terrible about it, and thank God there wasn't cell phone cameras, because I probably wouldn't be here.
That picture didn't turn up in our research.
We did find that. We did look. but-
That was back when people just went and did good things in your community, and no one had to take pictures and make anything political out of it.
Very good. Very good.
So I think what we learned out of this is Jeff Knight is a cross-dresser.
This is correct. There's been a pattern a few years ago, several years ago. I won't even go into a Halloween costume one year. We won't go into that. And again, no pictures of it out there either.
What kind of show is this? We went from Bruce Jenner to this.
Segways.
We
Segue
know
from
that.
one to the other.
Your internet shows are about timing. I think the timing of that was.
This is all planned.
It's just like wrestling.
Yeah,
Scripted.
exactly.
Yeah.
So, well, if you haven't guessed, I've visited more countries than state. When my kids were in school, we were fortunate enough to have a lady that would take kids on trips to Europe through EF Tours. So every 3 years they would have a trip and they would go visit 3 or 4 different countries in Europe. And so I was asked to be a chaperone, and then I continued to do that through each 5 of my kids. So we've been all over Europe for several years. So
What was your favorite?
I would definitely move to Switzerland. It is so beautiful. It's just great. The worst I would say was Denmark. I didn't care for Denmark at all. So, Scotland, I didn't like it either. Maybe it's the colder climate. I don't know. I guess Switzerland's cold too, but it's just beautiful.
Well, it's always nice to learn something new about the people we work with all the time. If you guys want to go around and just share something else that you want everyone to know about you that maybe they don't know, what you do in your real life, or something you can share with us, we appreciate it.
Well, you always got to start with me.
We can start
Mr.
over
Knight.
here.
I got a copy off of somebody.
Oh, that's right.
Born and raised in Laclede County, and so, I mean, spent most of my life there. Coached at Nixon, Ozark. Was probably the only time I'd ever been away from Laclede County. So I've been there long enough that I think Jeffyified and Bisneyified is kind of synonymous with one another. My dad started an auction company back in the 50s, and I was actually coaching in Nixon. His health was kind of, I needed to go back home. So my brother and I still run that business today.
It's awesome.
It's great. Well, I've lived in Northwest Missouri all my life. I'm currently a cattle farmer, and I used to sell eyeglasses and contacts. I've been married for 37 years, I believe. I don't know, somewhere in there. I've got 5 sons and 5 grandsons. Got 2 daughter-in-laws, so we're pretty boy-heavy on our side of the family. So,
Your wife is very outnumbered.
she is very outnumbered. So,
Yeah, grew up in St. Louis, moved to the lake in 2017 to start a baseball business. That's a baseball and softball complex. Still part owner, but left that when I won this, and just have some small businesses. Have an Italian grocery store in Camdenton. We're opening another one in Columbia here in a few weeks, and then I'm working on some real estate development with some folks building condos at the lake. And wife's a teacher, been together since high school, and 2 college-age kids, so almost empty nesters, which is getting close.
Oh, they'll come back.
No, I know.
They do.
They come back.
It's almost a fact of life now.
Yeah.
Hey, fly, little birdie. Back thing.
A couple of times you have supplied the caucus with some
Yes.
treats from home.
Yep.
You want to share that?
Yeah, just
Specialties?
you know, the store is famous for our cannolis, which always go over well, and so I look forward to bringing more back, especially when we get Columbia that open. That'll be nice and close. So.
Fantastic. We appreciate that very much.
Yep.
All right.
So a little bit about me. My business is I install overhead operators in garage doors. I picked that up as a side job, so I started that back in 1996. I worked for the Highway Patrol. We were living in St. Louis, making about $25,000 a year. Daycare was $1,200 a month. House payment was $950. So I had to come up with other ways to supplement that. So I started working for a company and just kept going and going. 2006, when the financial crisis started, I stood up my own LLC, and then with cops and firemen, everybody wants to know they got a guy, right? And then their family, hey, who's your guy for this?
Yeah.
Who's your guy for that? I became the garage door guy in like the St. Louis area. And then it just kept growing and growing. So in 2021, when I was able to retired, and started doing that full time. And then the politics popped up. And when you are the business, and it's a skill business that you have to go do. I was fortunate. I had a young man that was working with me. In 2019, went down to Arizona and ran into him in October of 23, and he's like, yeah, what have you been doing? He's like, I've been hanging garage doors the last 3 years. I'm like, kid, come back to the St. Louis area, I will set you up. And so his name's Zach. He's been doing a great job running it while I'm gone. It's nice to be able to be able to transition that over and pass that off. So I think I'm gonna let him take that over for here coming really short.
Nice. All right, got anything to copy off of? Or?
Still formulating. I'm a financial advisor when I get to do it, because this takes up most of our time, as you know. But I've been a financial advisor since the late 80s. I have 7 kids, 4 girls and 3 boys, and that I'm never going to get to retire. So, and never going to have an empty nest, as you mentioned, Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
They do come back. They leave, they come back. They leave, they come back. But I'm down to 3, and I think if I get rid of one of them, I'll be good. So yeah. But,
Which one?
This is recorded. No, and it's been a joy to have them. They're all awesome kids, and family is big to us. And we just bought 10 acres out in Holden, which we'll be moving as soon as I'm done with this, and we're gonna enjoy being out in the country again.
Nice.
Fantastic.
Very good.
This has been really good, and in full disclosure, my research turned up none of these things. So I just went with a popularity contest. I mean, I like Jeff Knight the best and ended with Jeff Farnett.
Thank you, Donnie.
I can't wait to turn around and see the wall and see where I'm at.
Everything in between, don't worry about that.
One other thing we didn't mention, we do have pictures that our research showed up. So over here we got Jeff Knight. This one's Jeff Vernetti, Jeff Meyer, Jeff Coleman, and me at the top. So I will put these at the end of the video so you can get a better look at them. So,
As always, we appreciate you tuning in. We've got some really good episodes coming up, some fantastic people that are going to be on also, but we appreciate this very much. We wanted to try something a little different today, and Jeff did a very good job.
So we didn't Jeff it up, did we?
Did not.
Definitely did not.
he was telling us before time that he had like 7 or 8, maybe 10 Jeff jokes, but he's used to, I don't know,
Told
6,
us.
7.
I don't have the memory that you do for jokes.
I don't think he does either, based on that first joke. So.
Thank you. I wanted something else. They vetoed me.
I think this episode though might put you over the top where you could actually get maybe a actual camera or microphone or something.
I'll take a picture and put it on at the end of the podcast.
Of our setup.
Definitely when the budget comes back over, I think we got an amendment.
Well, we appreciate it.
We would appreciate it. Thank you all very much, and we will see you all next week. Have a great weekend.
Guys.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.